Egypt down by the waterfront.
Oh my God, throwback.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
go
what I
there?
used to listen to. No, I was too young.
That's
what I just remember. I just remember from when I grew up here. That's what I always remember on, like, was it Friday and Saturday nights? To be like, oh, right, 18.
Yeah. Well, wait, but so I used to, a little throwback for me was that I started at Q102 as an intern. I went to Drexel.
Oh.
And on Sunday nights at Egypt, they used to do Spoiled Rotten Sundays, which was like 14 to 18 or something. And so, like, I was on the promo crew. So that's where, like, you know, you hand out free T-shirts and pens and stuff.
Right.
And so we'd have to go, like, hang out with all the teens at Egypt. And then they had, like, a mysterious fire. It was like, you know, obviously it was like an insurance fire,
Right.
probably, you know?
Yeah, exactly, like a Sopranos style.
Totally. And then it was never heard from again.
Wow.
Everybody kept saying, like, they're going to reopen it. And nope, it was never. And now Delaware Ave is like, I mean, they're trying. Well, not like, well, hold on. Let's go back because I want to talk about Philly and, like, whatever. Okay, so hi, Matt. Welcome.
Hi,
welcome home.
Thanks for having me.
So you're like a big-time movie director, but you're from Philly.
I am. I'm technically from Hatboro, Pennsylvania, but I say I'm from Philly because it's just easier to.
Okay, so here's my beef with that, right? So people get mad. They're like, well, if you're from the burbs, like the whole argument with Bradley Cooper, well, he's not from Philly, he's from Chuckytown. I'm like, guys, the whole point of the suburbs is that it's just like a suburban part of the major city.
Right.
So it's like, it's your sports teams. It's where you go to concerts. Like, there's no concert venue in Hatboro. Like, you're going to the Wells Fargo Center. Like, you're going to see an Eagles game. You're going to see the Sixers. So, like, you're from Philly.
Right. Also, when you say you're from Hatboro, people just stare at you blankly, and then you have to explain for 10 minutes what that means.
Because it's a suburb of Philly.
Yeah.
It's just like Pink. People are like, oh, she's from Doylestown. She's not from Philly. I'm like, guys, she, like, hung on South Street. Like, she's effing from Philly. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
I get mad about it. I mean, I'm from the Poconos, but I feel like I'm a Philadelphian.
But you say you're from Philly, right?
But I live in Philly now, but I've technically been in Philly longer than I've lived in the Poconos because I went to Drexel. And then they're like, how old are you? I'm like, never mind. I'm only 23 now.
Yeah. We have family in the Poconos.
Oh, you do? Where?
Yeah. I actually don't know.
Oh, maybe could you text your
I guess
mom?
it's a big area. You shouldn't just say Poconos.
I'm from near, like, close to Jim Thorpe. So anyway, so you grew up in Hatboro. Where'd you go to high school?
Upper Moreland.
Okay. And is your family still here?
Yeah, they're all still here, except my sister lives in LA now.
Okay. So, well, give me, like, before we talk about the movie and all that stuff, I mean, it's pretty exciting when you have somebody who's, like, in Hollywood from Philly. So give me the whole shtick. Like, where'd you go to school? How'd you end up in LA?
Well, I got into USC Film School, which is one of the best film schools. So that was exciting. So I was like, all right, I'll just move out there. So moved out there and then graduated, started writing screenplays with a buddy of mine that I went to school with.
Yeah, because you wrote the screenplay for this.
I co-wrote it, with this other guy, another writing partner. But
and then you got the award at Sundance.
That's true, yeah, we did. Yeah. We won the Waldo Salt Screenwriting Award.
That's really fancy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was really exciting. But yeah, I was writing screenplays for years and years, and then I produced my friend Max's movie, and then after that, I was sort of like, I need to get back into directing, and so that was sort of my journey. So I did a short film that I co-wrote with my brother, actually, that was at South by Southwest in 2013, and then we've been trying to get a feature going for the last few years, and then we wrote the script for this in 2015.
Wow! So you wrote it in 2015. It was already been made and it's out.
I know, it's crazy. That's I mean,
so
in movie
crazy.
Timelines, that's really short. I feel like usually it's
I feel like it's way short.
Yeah,
yeah.
This one came together quickly.
Usually they're like, I wrote the screenplay in 2003.
Right.
And I shopped
years.
it to every studio. And then I was homeless, living on my sister's couch. It's like that story.
That was my journey for the last 10 years, up until this. And this is what changed everything.
Here's the deal, though. So I'm going to make a little bit of a pact with you because I have issues with people who are from Philly. And when they're first kind of like got their big stuff going on, like Will Smith, Pink, Bradley Cooper, when Hangover 3 was out, he was always in Philly. Interviewed him 3 times. When Silver Linings Playbook, guess what? Asshole hasn't been back since, and now I'm mad at him. So now you have to promise me that when you get nominated for an Academy Award and stuff, you're going to be like, I'm going to go visit Nicole, and we're going to still do our thing.
Okay, yeah, look, I'm down.
Because I get pissed, because I'm like, why are you forgetting where you came from?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
No, you gotta support the hometown.
Right? Especially because your whole had you come back often?
Yeah, I do. I mean, my whole family's here, so yeah, I don't think they'll let me forget.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, I feel like Bradley Cooper's mom got really into the whole LA thing, and she moved out there. She wears a lot of fur. Do you know what I mean? She like just
Right.
makes her manicotti out in LA now, and everyone forgets Jenkintown.
Right. Yeah, I know. Ugh.
All right, good. As long as we have a deal, then I feel better about this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from humble beginnings, so it's like you gotta rep where you're from. I think.
Well, I feel like because who's the dude that does the Goldbergs?
Oh, that's right. He is from Philly.
He's from Philly too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't
he
met
never
him.
came in to do stuff, but I think he's from like.
But that whole show takes place out in the suburbs of Philly, right?
But it's not that far. I think they're at like the Willow Grove Mall, so it's like kind of close to your hood. Because that would have been your mall, right? The Willow Grove Mall?
I worked at the Willow Grove Mall.
You did?
I
What
worked at
store?
Deck the Walls.
No way.
Is that still there?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think people order posters on Amazon.
Right, yeah. That makes
In fact,
sense.
For the new, like, we had to order posters for the new station, and we went to Target. We're like, where do you even get posters? Like, this is weird. I'm like, I guess we go to Amazon. Like, what was that place in the mall that was like really popular? Not Claire's, but damn it.
Oh,
You know
my
what I'm
God, I know
talking
you're
about.
Spencer's.
Spencer's,
Gifts.
yes, good job. That's awesome. Like, we're like, does Spencer still exist? Okay, so this movie is awesome because it's dark and twisted, but it's also like so. What's the word I'm looking for? Like just so appropriate for like now and social
Timely,
media
maybe,
and
yeah.
timely and stuff. So when you got the idea, because I feel like you said you wrote it in 2015, so I feel like I don't feel people were as obsessive in 2015 as they are now. So I feel like you almost like had a little bit of like you were looking ahead. You were like a genie.
Well, maybe in LA it felt like it was already kind of peak
Right.
Instagram. So we were hoping that by the time the movie came out and got made that it would still be relevant. But it definitely seems like luckily it's as relevant as ever probably. Maybe more so. But yeah, I mean, we were constantly kind of rewriting and updating the script as we were going along because even while we were shooting, Instagram totally changed their whole interface on their app.
It's called Instagram, but there's an algorithm now that you only see the same people. It makes me so if I ever get to talk to Mark Zuckerberg, because he's traveling around the little towns, I'm gonna be like, listen, Mark,
Maybe
I feel
he'll
like this
deign to come to Philadelphia.
Right.
Lord Zuckerberg.
Right. If Lord Zuckerberg could come and I'd be like, it's called Instagram. You're supposed to see things instantly, not have a freaking algorithm. Whatever, that's off
Right.
the topic. Wait, so let me go back for a second because I have a question for screenwriters because I've always wondered this. So when you're writing a screenplay, do you actually say like, Bob said hi, Mary said hey? Like, is that how you write a screenplay? Do you really go like word for word?
Well, I can show you what one looks like, but it just says, it says the character's name, and then under their name it says whatever their dialogue's supposed to say, and then there's description, so it'll say Bob walks in through the door and says hi to Mary, and then it'll just say Bob, whatever he says. Then
So you
Mary
just do that on your computer?
You do it on a computer, yeah, and
That
then
seems very tedious.
It's well, I like to write with other people. That way,
Okay.
I'm not just sitting in a room by myself,
Right.
pretending
Right.
to check my blogs and pretending to write.
Right. Well, yeah. Just like, hold on, we got to see what
Hitting the refresh
people.com.
button,
Yeah. What's going on with TMZ? Because that's what I've always wondered. Because I thought I've always had like ideas for movies and stuff, and I'm like, if I were to ever write, like, do I literally have to say like, the dog galloped through the meadow?
It's
Then
really
it
not
turned
that.
right.
It's not. Look, it's not rocket science in terms of the actual how you format it. Anyone can. You read any script online, you can figure it out. It's pretty straightforward.
Right. Why did I never think to Google it?
Yeah,
That
there's
was-
online.
It's pretty
You can
whack
get any
on my
script.
part.
I just read. I mean, I sort of learned. I went to school, but I mean, really,
Yeah.
just by reading other scripts, and you just kind of see. All right, that's how, you do it. It's not. Yeah. That's how I kind of got started because I was reading a lot of scripts in my internship, and I was like, I think I can do this, and so we just started doing it.
I have a great idea for a movie. It could be like totally a Pixar movie, and I keep telling people my idea, and they're like, "That's really fun." And it came from my cousins. I can't give it away because I don't want anybody to steal it. I mean, we could pinky swear on it that you won't steal it, but I don't know if does a pinky swear really hold up. But I'm like, do I like write a script with somebody? I'm like, I don't know. I never thought about it. But it's
well, that's the tricky thing. I mean, it's in Hollywood. It's like the ideas are cheap, right? But it's like you got to sit down and write it out, and it's frustrating for me too because I'll be like, I have this great idea, and then my agent will be like, oh, there's already 6 scripts that are like that already, and you're like, oh, but then just sitting it down. So the idea is to try and put something in your voice of what makes it feel different, what's going to make it stand out from all the other. I'm sure there were a ton of social media movies that were happening, you know, so we were just trying to make one that we would want to see, and thankfully it worked out.
So the cast is crazy too, but go back, explain it like really quickly for people that haven't seen it, because you don't want to give too much away.
Right.
But you'll do a better job than I will.
Well, it's about a young woman played by Aubrey Plaza.
Who's from Wilmington, which is crazy. So she has a Philly connection too.
Yeah, so her character, Ingrid, becomes obsessed with an Instagram influencer played by Elizabeth Olsen. And so Ingrid thinks it's a good idea to move out to L.A. to try and become friends with her IRL in real life. Yeah.
Nice, IRL.
And, but obviously that, it takes a turn.
Right.
So,
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys can, in your
That's
mind,
where the
imagine.
dark part comes in.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of the, things that probably people weren't expecting. Like OShea Jackson Jr. is in it. He plays Aubrey's landlord.
That's Ice Cube's son, by the way.
Ice Cube's son, yeah, straight out of Compton.
Which was like, oh my God, one of my favorite movies in the last 5 years. It was so
good. Yeah, he's really talented.
Did Ice Cube come on set?
No, unfortunately. I would have loved to.
I've actually got to interview him a couple times. I was just, he did that movie called Fist Fight. And I got to go to LA for like to interview them. And he's so cool and like with it. Ice Cube, like you're the lyricist. Like you wrote the Police, like, and he's just like so with it. And I'll edit obviously the fact that I said that. But he's like, I'm just always so impressed. And like he was here when Barbershop 3 came out. Like he came to Philly, so I interviewed him here. And he's just like real present. And I'm just like, it's just crazy. You know what I mean? So
I know. Well, he raised a good kid. O'Shea's a really, really good kid.
That's awesome.
And just really very polite. Like he bought he would buy presents for the crew every day.
Wow.
So he bought every day. He would show up and he'd buy like 50 boxes of Krispy Kreme donuts for the whole crew, or Wingstop, or whatever. Yeah. He's just really generous and really just fun to be around.
Oh, that's cool. Great. So are you, as a director, are you involved in the casting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I mean, that's sort of, you work with the producers, but I mean, I would say, here's who I like, and then you try and get them. You don't always, usually you don't get your first choices for the movie, but in this movie, we got all of our first choices that we wanted for all the roles, which just never happens. Yeah. And obviously other things went terribly wrong during the shoot that we had to deal with.
Where'd you shoot? Did you shoot in LA?
Yeah, we shot in LA. Which has its own challenges. But yeah, it was just kind of, low budget filmmaking. It's not glamorous. I'm sure people imagine it's like, I don't know what people imagine, but I'm sure people picture it being a lot more glamorous than it is. It's really, we're working long hours and you're hauling equipment and, it's just like, it's not, it's not pretty. Yeah,
but now, I mean, not that critics' review matter to the masses, because a lot of times movies are, but it has like an 84% Rotten Tomatoes and an 84% from like audience and critics. So that's like pretty badass.
That's great. Yeah, no, people are responding to it well. I've been checking the mentions on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. So it's cool. It's fun to see people reacting to it, because obviously we worked hard on it for so long. So you just wanted people to see it,
So what do you have going on next?
Well, my writing partner Max and I, my other writing partner, are working on a movie for Disney. Do you remember The Rocketeer?
Yeah, with the backpack and he flies around.
Yeah, the jetpack. Yeah, so we're
because it wasn't the original movie wasn't animated, right?
No, it was live action.
Okay.
And it was probably one of the first like superhero movies that came out. Now that there's one every week, I feel like. But so we're doing that, and then a book that I'm looking at adapting that with Dave, who I wrote Ingrid with. Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah,
you're busy. Hey, it was so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, I got to see this. I got to a fancy screening of the movie, which is cool. But no, I love the fact that it's a movie that it's obviously dark and funny but it does make people think. And I hope that, because it's interesting with social media from my point of view. So I also do the social media for the cluster. Mm-hmm. And especially for Q102, which is a top 40 station, and it's insane, like the fangirl phenomenon, right? And how like it was, back in the day, like we were the people that connected the audience to the star, right? Mm-hmm. So like if you wanted to meet in sync, like you had to do a contest and listen to the radio. Mm-hmm. And now like you could just follow Shawn Mendes on Instagram and follow him on Snapchat. And like he could write you back, and then all of a sudden you have that direct connect to this person that you don't know, that you never met,
Right.
and it gives people a false sense of reality. And
Totally.
I feel like it's interesting, looking at it from my point of view, where I'm like, wow. And then just even like a deeper level of like how parents kind of encourage it, which is freaky too. I mean, obviously the character in the movie is a little bit older, but like, a lot of our listeners are, teens and in their early 20s, and it's like they still live at home and they're doing all. And I'm just like, wow, it's a whole new level that growing up I never had to worry about. Do you know what I mean? My parents never had to worry about, and it makes me scared shitless to be a parent.
Yeah, I mean,
don't have kids yet, but I'm just like, this is scary.
No, I saw a girl using Snapchat the other day, and it was like that scene in Minority Report where Tom Cruise is like moving the, and I was like, she was doing it so fast, and I can't even figure out that app. That app is too advanced for me. It's not made for people over 30.
I mean, my mom has it.
Oh,
It's
really?
actually really funny. My mom's a kindergarten teacher, so all of her friends at school are all like in their 20s and 30s. So she's like on all the socials, and my brother's mad because she keeps going over her data, like they're on the family plan.
My God.
And he's like, "Mom, you gotta go off Snapchat." She's like, "Aunt." My mom's a Saturday Night Live character, but she doesn't even know she's funny. She just is. So, and this is literally how she talks. And she's like, "Andrew, now I like to see pictures in the videos. Everyone on vacation. Now, never mind. I get you presents all the time. I'm doing the Snapchat."
Wow.
Or like I was just on vacation to Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, and like she's messaging me on, "Wow, Nicole, and beautiful waterfalls." I'm like, this is so weird. I'm talking to my mom on Snapchat.
Oh,
so
my God.
I feel like that could be a movie too,
Yeah.
where like the parents go crazy on social media. Speaking of social media, are you on the socials? Can people follow you? Or
I
do you like
am.
to stay on the DL?
No, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Hello Matt Spicer.
Okay.
On both, and yeah.
So follow him, and then promise me that you'll always come back and like promote your movies in Philly.
I will. Hopefully,
Okay.
maybe me and Brad can come back together.
Yo, that'd be so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Bradley.
Bradley,
Oh,
right?
sorry.
Of course.
I think
Or Mr.
people-
Cooper.
Brad, yeah. Well, now he has the kid, right? So now he has the kid, and he's doing that whole movie with Gaga. And I feel like if The Star Is Born comes out and he doesn't come back, like I'm totally. So people were always like tease me. They're like, "Oh, Nicole loves Bradley Cooper," or whatever. And people still like tell. I'm like, I'm over him. That was
It
like.
sounds like you're a little bit Ingrid and Bradley's like your Taylor Sloan.
You think?
Kind of character. Yeah.
No, I'm not a stalker. I'm not. I just feel like you shouldn't forget your roots.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get a little too famous. Now you're in Tahiti with Diane von Furstenberg, and you just forget about Philly. Like, don't you want a cheesesteak? All right, thanks, Matt.
Thanks for having me.